Huwara's location makes it a vulnerable town. It lies below a grouping of hills in the West Bank on which Jewish settlements have been built. This was where Abdullah Ode realized his dream in 2009, a small amusement park on the hillside. Up to 1,000 people once visited every day. But nobody has visited since the summer when the attacks by settlers began.
People are afraid now. It's over. People are afraid to come here now. Nobody wants to risk their life to spend time here, especially as you never know when they will come and attack.
Abdullah has lost everything he invested. These images come from his surveillance cameras facing the park's car parks in December last year. Young settlers were throwing stones at the entrance to the park and burning vehicles. The settler attacks here began long before the punitive expedition last February. That was when several dozen settlers entered Huwara and set fire to vehicles and houses in revenge for the deaths of 2 of their own, killed by a Palestinian.
هم من جنوا الفترة هذه هم من جنوا يعني لهم من شهر 8 لليوم باستمرار الاعتداءات علينا.
Recently, it's as if they've gone mad. Since August, up until now, the attacks have been regular. I don't know what to do or what to do in the future. Honestly, I don't know what to do. They attack my 2 businesses, the park here and the lorries for my transport company. They attack me on all fronts and leave me nothing. They even burn down the house I'm building.
One of the settlers' top priorities is expanding into the north of the West Bank, as far as Nablus. This area is one of the most violent in the Palestinian territories. Among the most extremist of these settlers are what's known as the hilltop youth, aged between 15 and 25 at most, who are often behind the attacks on the Palestinians. They've agreed to give us a rare interview. On this particular day, an illegal outpost set up a few days earlier by this group of hilltop youth had just been dismantled by Israeli police, only strengthening their determination.
It happened like this. They came here, onto the hill. They took the tent, of course, and the stakes. And they took all our mattresses and blankets. We were here before, a year and a half ago, and they expelled us a few times. They turned this area into a military zone. We lost the hill, but now we have come back.
As soon as the security forces left, they simply rebuilt in the midst of Palestinian villages. This young man's t-shirt says "No peace with terrorists." The stones are ready if a Palestinian comes near, but they're happy to portray themselves as victims.
We shouldn't be afraid of them. They will try to make us leave the hill with their attacks, but they can't break us.
A prayer is said. For these fanatical teenagers, the hill represents both the divine right and a battlefield.
Every hill is territory of the land of Israel. Of course, we have to make our own calculations to know where to settle, but every hill is our land. In Joshua's time, every hill was also at war. Every hill must be conquered. Our weapon here is construction. With construction, we can conquer these places.
The current Israeli government is the most right-wing in the country's history. Even if the settlers still find them too soft, the new crop of pro-settler ministers has given them a boost. Back to Huwara, the West Bank town where settlers led the punitive expedition. A bypass road allowing settlers to reach their buildings without passing through the town is under construction. Settlers and Israeli soldiers on the current road are frequently targeted by armed Palestinian militants. We're meeting with some of these young militants in one of their strongholds, the Balata refugee camp in Nablus. Not yet 20 years old, their job here is to make homemade explosives. Photos of militants killed in previous Israeli raids are printed on them. One of the battalion leaders, aged 22, has agreed to talk about the recent attacks on Israeli checkpoints and settlers. For him, their aim is deterrence, nothing more, nothing less.
It's a normal reaction. The result of the latest attacks by the Palestinians in the West Bank is that the settlers have started to reduce their attacks on us. And we will continue carrying out these types of operations against them. As a result, the army is carrying out more operations here, and there are more checkpoints around the town, that's true. The army conducts these operations, not the settlers. The settlers have actually reduced the frequency of their attacks.
He says the lack of political prospects offers the camp's young people only one path: a turf war inexorably leading to prison or death.